All right, today I am here with Colin Lee and Chad Todd from PracticePanther, who are going to be giving us, telling us about some big news coming out from the company and giving us a demonstration of it as well. So I'm really excited to hear about this. I got a little bit of a hint of it last week when we were all together at ABA Tech Show, but I haven't really gotten all the details yet. So I'm going to be learning it along with all of you, the viewers of this video today. Colin, why don't you kick us off by telling us what it is that what you're announcing?
Great to see you, Bob, and I'm excited to chat with you today. Yeah, so at PracticePanther, we're an all-in-one legal practice management platform, and today we're really pumped and excited to launch or announce the launch of PantherAccounting Plus, which is a powerful new set of features that allows law firms and our wonderful customers to seamlessly manage all aspects of trust and operating accounting directly within PracticePanther, where they already do all their work. So, accounting's been a major thing for law firms. It's a high impact area and works really naturally with our workflows. And historically, a lot of firms have been using kind of third-party accounting solutions kind of bolted on or stitched together in their integrations with their practice management solution. And we wanted to, bring it all in-house and make it all in one, so you don't have to jump between third-party solutions. And really exciting for our product and our platform, because bringing in the full accounting suite and capabilities, that really adds another pillar in our native end-to-end financial management capabilities with PracticePanther. We did Panther payments, we have billing and invoicing, time tracking, case management, and accounting just brings it kind of soup to nuts. So really excited to show you guys and the audience there what we have in store.
Yeah, I'm curious. Chad, Todd, you and I, we were just chatting. Go back 10 years to when you were in our Startup Alley. I do an ABA Tech Show, the original first year of Startup Alley, when you showed Trustbooks that you co-founded and which PracticePanther acquired in 2022, I think it was. Does that sound right?
Right.
Yeah. And so, I mean, is this just kind of an extension of Trustbooks, or is this like a whole new build, or what's the background?
That's a great question, Bob. And I'm proud to be an OG for Startup Alley. I'll just say that for sure.
You are.
Thank you for supporting me back then and supporting me now, man. I really appreciate it. I've been talking with legal tech and attorneys specifically around accounting for over a decade. It's my entire reason for being, it's my purpose. And the reason we were required was to bring all that into PracticePanther. It's not just a rehash of the Trustbook stuff. Trustbooks, as you know, was designed on the principle of being simple and keeping you in compliance with your bar. That was our two guiding principles. And we maintain that here. That's still the same thing in Panther Accounting Plus. It has to be drop dead simple, and it has to move you towards compliance, not away from it. The difference is Trustbooks was a standalone application with a small handful of workflows that you would just use for accounting. We weren't an LPM, so we didn't track your case management. We didn't track all your reports. We didn't track all your documents and invoicing. We had a little niche. So we took all the lessons learned from building out that little niche and from talking to thousands of attorneys, and we wired that straight into PracticePanther. And we did it by taking the stuff people already love about Panther and then just extending the existing workflows to make them accounting ready. Our philosophy is that accounting in your LPM shouldn't be big or scary or difficult. It shouldn't feel like learning something new. It should be an extension of what you're already doing. You already know your LPM. Why would you have to learn another system? So instead of just rushing Trustbooks and dropping it in and saying, hey, we're done, we've taken a couple years and we've rolled this out in phases, and we've talked to hundreds of law firms. We've turned it on for hundreds of law firms. We've let them test it. We've taken it for a spin, and we've really listened to them. And what we're going to show you today is all their feedback, all the great work we're building on in PracticePanther, and all the lessons learned from Trustbooks. And we've nailed it. It's simple. It's intuitive. It's a natural extension of things that you already know. So the learning curve is really, really small.
Let me just ask kind of how, again, we'll get into the demo in just a second, but how robust is this really? I mean, one of the big complaints I hear from lawyers when they use some of the accounting platforms that have been developed and some other, not to be named, practice management platforms that are out there is that, you know, that they're not robust, that they don't really have all the features that they need in their law practices. So is this, how complete of a system is this?
It's soup to nuts, Bob. So it's everything you need to manage your trust accounting. And here's a handful of things that you need. You need to be able to track client activity at the client and matter level. You need to make sure you don't take your clients into the negative. You need to make sure that you have a process to balance at the end of every month in what we call a three-way reconciliation, which means you balance your client records to your bank balances, to your book balances inside of your LPM, and all that has to match. And we do it beautifully. It's easy, and the reporting is just what you need. You're always audit ready. But that's just not enough. Anyone could build out trust accounting. Our operating accounting is world class. It goes toe to toe with all the other products I won't name, and you've got all the reports you would expect. So at the end of the year, it's a couple clicks for your P&L. It's a couple clicks for your balance sheet. You've got all the reports your bookkeeper would want, your CPA, your tax person, right at your fingertips. We wanted to make sure that in Panther Accounting Plus, you had not just what you needed to manage your trust activity, but a full operating accounting solution, and it's all here. It just doesn't feel big and scary because it's built to be Panther. It is Panther accounting. And Panther is simple and intuitive because it's built for people that understand legal and they understand how good software works. It's not niched for accountants. Accountants have their own software that they can use. They like it very, very much. This is built for the rest of us, but it's a full end-to-end solution.
Yeah, and the one thing I wanted to add to that is we took the lessons learned from other solutions in our space that have launched things that are similar and kind of missed the mark, and we wanted to incorporate a lot of that feedback to make sure that it does hit both like in comprehensive feature set, but also in the same ease of use and workflows that we get from PracticePanther. So it's easy to use, approachable, and works seamlessly with everything else while like checking every single box that a generic accounting solution would as well.
All
But
right.
what we heard in our thousands of calls we've had with people is that a lot of the competitors, it feels like two systems, not one. Like the bookkeeper feels okay in one system, but not the
Right.
other. The
Right.
paralegal feels okay in one system and not the other. And you can literally feel the friction as these two systems try to sync and pretend to be one. So that was a deal killer for us. Can't have it. The other that we heard is that it was just difficult to adopt the software. It was written in bookkeeping terms and accounting terms and just wasn't intuitive for people. Turns out to build something beautiful and simple is really, really hard. And we spent a lot of time putting our heads down and making it just accounting that doesn't feel.
Yeah. Well, is this a good time to dive in and
Let's do
see
it.
what it looks like?
Yeah. I'm
Do
going to
it.
walk us through a handful of things. So the first thing I'm going to do is walk you through our onboarding process. Onboarding should tell you everything you know about the product you're getting into. Hot mess coming in, hot mess when you're in. Our onboarding is simple, it's elegant, it's intuitive. You just work through the workflows and it's done. You're just going to need a couple of documents. And if you don't have them, we've built workflows in to allow you to continue anyhow. But you're going to take some reports from your previous accounting system and you're going to look at those. And then you're going to use those to onboard your balances into Panther. And that's what I'm going to show you now. Okay, Bob, I'm going to reference those documents just so you can see them. We're not really going to linger on them. But in any accounting system that you have, you're really going to have two docs. And this is going to be your source of truth coming into a new accounting platform. You're going to have what's called a balance sheet. You're going to have what's called a reconciliation. And those work just like you would expect, Bob. Your balance sheet is just there to show you that your book's balanced, that the accounting formula is good. Cool thing is you don't have to know any of this. You literally just need to read 2 lines and then you're set. Your reconciliation exists to show you that your bank and your accounting system match. Same thing. You're just going to grab it and you're going to grab a couple of numbers off of here. So let me show you how you do it. If I switch over here to Panther Accounting Plus, we have built this beautiful onboarding screen here. The user just picks trust or operating. They can start wherever they want. We map out the steps. We help them keep track of where they are in the process. And it is literally 3 steps to onboard your trust account into Panther. That's it.
What if
So
they
I'm
have
just gonna,
multiple trust accounts?
they would all be listed right here. They would just toggle between them. A lot of our customers do. So that's a great question, Bob. I'm glad you asked it. Operating accounting is typically done at the firm level because that's just how operating accounting works. You have credit cards, you have bank accounts, you have savings accounts. Anything that would be part of the financial picture for your firm is one operating accounting onboarding. But trust accounts are onboarded individually because they could have separate purposes,
Mhm.
different banks, different states. So each one of those has its own different sets of three-way reconciliations that we use. And our onboarding is meant to handle the small firm up to the huge firms. And it all works just as easy. It's the same super simple workflow for everybody. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to say trust accounting first. Step one, onboarding, get started. Now, this is literally all I need to put in. I'm going to go open up my bank statement. So let's switch over here and I will go to my bank statement. And you can see on a bank statement, it shows you right here, your ending balance. That's it. That's all I had to be able to do is read that off of my bank statement. And then I go right back into my software and I say, okay, when am I onboarding as? We're going to do this one as of, let's see, February 1. And then I just type in whatever my bank balance was. So I'm going to go back and see what it was because I should have been paying better attention. 650. Okay. Not too hard so far, right, Bob?
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
You got a different number than you just said, but that's okay.
That's right. It'll all work out in the wash.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
going to show you how well it works, even for those of us that can't pay attention to numbers. You're going to love this. So here we're going to hit
Got
continue.
guardrails.
You're in the wrong
That's right.
business, man.
And now it's going to show me all my transactions that are in Panther. So in this particular account, I have an existing Panther account that I'm onboarding. If this was a brand new customer, we wouldn't have this transactional history here. We would just add what we needed. Now, the goal here, Bob, is to calibrate Panther so that it is mathematically correct with your other accounting system and your bank. We did that by putting in the date and the bank balance. Technically, the onboarding is done. This extra step here, what it does, in the future, we're going to do a reconciliation process to say what's cleared and what hasn't. So if you had anything pending that hadn't cleared the bank, that's been sitting on the books for a while, you just add it right here. So when it clears in the future, you can clear it out through our reconciliation process. This is how we account for the float. So you would just go in here and say, this is cleared, or uncleared. And then you'd say, I want to add those. That's it. And the way you would know they're uncleared is if you go to your accounting system and you look at your reconciliation, it always tells us here what's clear and what hasn't. So we would just grab these uncleared transactions. We have built this to work though, even for customers that don't know they're uncleared transactions. Some customers are like, hey, I got such a hot mess, dude. I have no clue. That's all right. We're going to get you to a balanced point. We're going to stop the leaky bucket so it doesn't leak. You're fixed. You'll never get in this spot again. And then you can loop back around and do some cleanup if you needed. But everyone can onboard easily and effortlessly. It doesn't matter the state of your existing books. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to hit continue. It's going to show me a summary. Now you can see, Bob, because I said one number and put in a different one, it's actually showing us that. It's saying, hey, I don't think you did this right. So now I could go back and I could type in the number that was in my bank statement. Or if there was something wrong in my formula, it will automatically just balance this for me. And what this does, it allows you to come into the onboarding and save it. And now I have balanced books. Now, if there's something I need to research or there's something I need to find, no big deal. I'm balanced. I'm never going to go backwards. I'm only going to go forwards. Once I find it, I come in here and I tweak it and then I just tango on. Really, really easy. It's accounting that doesn't feel like accounting. All right, let me pause here, Bob, and see what questions you have. And then I'll show us the operating accounting. And then I'll walk us through some of our daily workflows.
Yeah, no other questions up to this point.
All right, my man, my favorite student.
And building this workflow, we took folks and firms from like all different conditions of their books and varying levels of knowledge, and built an onboarding workflow that kind of can be able to hit up and down the lineup, like no matter what your maturity of a firm you are, complexity, what the state of knowledge of accounting in your firm you have.
That's a good point, Colin. I'm glad you mentioned it because it's important to us that anybody can onboard. And a lot of other systems you get here, and if you don't have the perfect technical understanding, you don't have a financial background, if anything is off at all, you're toast. You need to call the vendor, you need to get your bookkeeper, and you got to have a meeting of the minds to try to figure it out. It shouldn't be that way. Accounting done right is actually simple. Now, what you're going to learn about this, Bob, operating accounting is the exact same thing we just saw. It's literally the same workflow. We don't believe in different ideas and different ways of doing things. There's one way, but there's a couple of extra steps because operating has more details than trust accounting. So let me show you. The very first step here, Bob, is called chart of accounts. And chart of accounts in operating accounting, as you know, it's just how you classify your expenses and your income. So as money comes in and money goes out, you're going to say, is that a marketing expense? Is that fee income? Well, what is it for? Well, part of what you're going to want to do in any new accounting system like PantherAccounting Plus is you're going to want to pick what you want your chart of accounts to be. So some of our customers have decades of using the same chart of accounts. No problem. We give them a little wizard to import their existing chart of accounts, and off we go. A lot of our customers say, you know what? I hate my chart of accounts. I don't even know what a chart of account is. Do you have one? Yes, we do. We've looked at all the data that we've collected from thousands of firms using our other accounting solutions. We've talked to customers. We pulled in our in-house accountants, and we built a custom set of chart of accounts tailored for the typical law firm. And that's what I'm going to show you here. Click on Get Started.
If they want to import their own, they just do that via
Yeah, just right here.
CSV or XLS.
Yeah, just click on Import, upload your CSV, and every accounting software, well, I shouldn't say ever, that's a strong word, but most accounting platforms allow you to just do a quick file export of your chart of accounts. And we use that same CSV format for a quick file import. And Bob, we actually take it a step further. You can import like all your chart of accounts, and then we give you the ability to toggle them on and off. So you can say, hey, now that I'm looking at the list, it's actually kind of massive. Let me toggle off half of these before I actually import them. Super easy import process. We don't want anyone to fall apart here, Bob. This chart of accounts is going to be the ones that we suggest. So right here is going to be our built-in ones. And you can see we've got the ones that you would expect, like miscellaneous income, advertising, marketing, dues and subscriptions. We've got, typical set of books. And then I hit,
expenses.
say it again, Colin.
Yeah, it has all your firm expenses as well as like your
That's right.
client and reimbursable expenses, like
That's right.
all the things that kind of like make up your general ledger.
That's right. And Bob, we made it effortless later to add one. So like nothing is final, right? There's no fear of doing it wrong or making a mistake. You made a mistake? Cool. We all made a mistake. I made one earlier on this demo. You just tweak it. Accounting done right is simple, and that includes fixing your mistakes. So here I'm just going to click continue. Now this should look familiar, Bob. Now we're into the exact same stuff we've already seen. So that easy, effortless trust accounting workflow is the same thing for operating accounting with the addition of a chart of account. The only thing you'll often see here, Bob, is a lot of our customers have credit cards, bank accounts, checking accounts. They have a ton of operating accounts where they may have one or two trust accounts. If that was the situation here, we would just effortlessly walk you through step 2, 3, 4, 5, and we just baby step you through it, one bank statement at a time. So here, I'm just going to put in the date that I want to onboard, and then I would put whatever my balance is. 8350. Let's see if I can remember it this time, Bob, but don't trust me. Okay, and now I'm just going to hit continue. And this is my chart of accounts. So if I had a balance sheet for my existing system, I would just swing over to it, and I would literally just go line by line off the balance sheet, and I would just type those items in right here. The way this is designed though, Bob, if you don't have a balance sheet, you'd be shocked how many firms have never seen one. And you'd be shocked how many firms have one and don't know what it is, but that's a different story. You can also just continue. What we do is we'll plug everything in here to your retained earnings and deferred revenue as a placeholder so you can balance your books. And then at the end of the year, when you give it to your bookkeeper, he can explain what it would like you to tweak. And then we can easily, through what we call a journal entry, help you adjust it. Again, onboarding is an enabler. It's not meant to provide friction and hold you back. And then I'm just going to go over here. When I put those things in, hit continue. If I had any unclear transactions, this is where they would be. Continue. And now it's going to show me all my details here. And then I'm just going to go down and I'm going to hit let's do it. Onboarding done. And Bob, I've done this with hundreds of customers in this exact same platform. And it's literally that simple. It blows their mind how we schedule a 45-minute onboarding call and 7 minutes in, we're done onboarding. It's not supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be easy. But let's pause here and see what questions we have on onboarding. And then I'll walk you through a little bit of our normal daily workflows and monthly workflows.
Well, I'm just noticing that little message on the bottom of the screen about permissions. So could you talk a little bit about that?
I can, Bob. And this is important. Lots of attorneys want to have one set of permissions for their non-accounting staff and a different set of permissions for their accounting staff. And we have heard them and we have listened and we have built it. So we already have world-class security controls built into PracticePanther out of the box. We've leveraged those and added to them additional accounting ones. So you can control who can see your P&L, who can see your balance sheet, who can do reconciliations, and who can put things in. Just because someone has the ability to enter data in your system doesn't mean they should have the ability to see how much money you made. Just because they can like do a reconciliation for one account doesn't mean they should be able to do it for all of them. And we take that to heart. Security is very, very important to us. And we want to make sure that only the people that should have access have access.
Is that role-based or individual-based? Yeah. Yep. Okay.
As a CFO and known these firms too, like just like segregation of duties is just incredibly important, especially when it comes to your books. So
Yep.
if you want to pass an audit, you have to have like a solution like that can support a segregation of duties that you want with your staff, and that's how we set up our permissions to be able to do so.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
Perfect. Okay. Can move on.
Okay. So Bob, we have now done step one. We have onboarding, and I spent more time talking than onboarding. I'm going to remind you. It's easy. Now I'm going to walk you through our daily workflows. That means this is just the stuff you do throughout the day. This shouldn't be anyone's full-time gig. It's as stuff happens, you put it in. And there's really two things. On the trust accounting side, it's as simple as putting money in and taking money out and making sure it's assigned appropriately to clients and matters. We have all the workflows built in to make sure that you have to have a client assigned to the money when it comes in. We have controls to make sure you can't take a client into the negative. All the things you would expect from a world-class LPM doing world-class accounting. So I'm not going to demo all those, but I will just show you one or two to show you how easy it is. So if I click up here on new, this is just in Panther in general. It's just so easy and smooth to go find whatever you want and do it. So if I want to create a new client, I would just come up here and I would say new contact, new matter. And it just walks me through collecting the info and then I save it when I'm done. Really, really easy. If I wanted to put money in or take money out, I would just click on new. And I would do contact payment because this is for a trust. And again, you have to pick a client. You had to pick a matter. That is fundamental for trust accounting. If you have a solution like traditional accounting software that does not ask you the client matter for your trust account, stop using that software. It's a fast track to being out of compliance. So I would just go in here and pick what I wanted, put all the information in. And again, this is very simple. I'm not going to linger here, but that's just how easy it is to put money in and take money out. If I were doing operating accounting, Bob, it'd be the same thing. But we call that a firm payment because trust funds is someone else's money. Firm funds is your money. And it's just as easy as deposits and withdrawals, Bob. So if it's money coming in, I'm going to say it's a deposit. I'm going to choose which account. Now, this is all native to Panther. Now, this is how you take something native and simple and you make it accounting without accounting. The only additional thing I have to do here, in addition to what would be here for my LPM to make it accounting, is right here, you choose your chart of accounts. I have attorneys ask me all the time, my paralegal's used to putting all of our information in Panther. What does she have to do now to make it like accounting ready? I'm like, okay, big drum roll. Watch this. Good day, sir. That's it. If you build accounting into your LPM correctly, one feeds the other. It's just one simple workflow. We don't have daily workflows for accounting and daily workflows for our LPM. We have one workflow and it does it all. And that would be the same thing if money was going in or if money was going out. So that's just your daily activities.
Yeah.
Now let me show you some of your weekly and monthly activities.
Can I just ask you real quick on that, on the sort of money in, money out idea? You say just what's the workflow around, I've just got a new client, told him I want a $5,000 retainer. I'm going to put it into a trust account. How does that flow? How does that?
Yeah, so I'll walk you through that. So let's just say someone comes in and they say, Bob, you are the best attorney we've ever seen. True story. Here's $5,000. I've been carrying around this check with your name on it all week just for this opportunity to meet you. You're going to go up here and you're going to say contact payment. And you're going to say, all right, this person just came in. I've created an entity form just to track them. And then it's just as easy as give me that money, add retainer. It's money. And then you just put in how much they gave you. Here's that $5,000. This one is going to go straight into trust because you're holding it on behalf of that client and you're going to bill against it. Add retainer. Next customer, please. It's meant to be seconds to get from dashboard to done inside of Panther. Everything is supposed to be a few clicks and then you're finished. If you have to toggle and navigate and get lost in the software, we've already lost before we started.
Okay. And so that's now in the accounting, in my accounting for that trust account is.
That's right. So let me show you. If I go up here to accounting and I go to my account ledger, this is where I can see my operating account ledger. I can see my trust ledger. So I can see now, this is the checkbook register for my trust account. And here's that money that just came in. And we have two sets of ledgers here, Bob. This is your bank ledger. From a finance standpoint, you have to have this. Your bar says you have to have a financial ledger for your bank account. True story. Your bar also says you have to have a client and matter ledger. True story. And here it is right here. And it's important that those are separate, Bob. You want to be able to see the bank ledger to think finance at the bank, and you want to see the individual client and matter ledgers to think about the person whose money that you're representing. Misappropriation of funds is a huge boo-boo and legal, and it's the number one reason people get disbarred. We don't leave it to chance. We don't commingle funds. We don't muddle accounts. If you see it, it's usable, it's here. And then
we provide the traceability so you can see everything from soup to nuts, from when you entered it as a customer or a client, a payment, and then down to where it appears on your ledger. So if you need to like do some reconciliation or figure out like how this became, how this showed up on your ledger in this particular way, you can always go back and see every kind of piece that led up to it.
That's right. Bob, unfortunately, the bars don't care if you willingly made a mistake or if you just made a mistake.
Right.
It's a mistake at the end of the day. So we have really gone out of the way to take the knives off the desk and put them in the drawer to help protect you from yourself, right? We're just trying to get the sharp objects out of the room, so to speak. So that's your dailies, Bob. You, your staff, whoever, as stuff happens, we just keep track of it. I won't demo the same workflow for operating, but as you recall, one workflow does it all in PantherAccounting Plus. You don't learn two things, you learn one. So that same thing I showed you is exactly identical for operating. You just sub out a contact and a matter for a chart of account. And in trust accounting, we track it at the client level, and operating accounting, we track it at the chart of account. Now, let me show you a couple things we built just for accounting. So if I go up here, we've got our snapshot, and boy, our attorneys tell us they love this. This is a new account, so it doesn't have a lot of money in it. But every night we run through all your accounts and we do a financial snapshot, boom, and we update this page. So when you log in the next morning, you can see your latest P&L, your latest cash flow statements, in and out on firm expenses. You can see all your balances. If you had anything that was off, we show you here so that you go check it out. It's the one comfort zone that busy attorneys can hit first thing in the morning to get their arms around their accounting and then move on for the rest of their day. Our attorneys tell us they value it the most because they don't have to go look at 4 or 5 different reports. They don't have to wait for their admin to send them something. It's just a quick snapshot of the most important things. How do we know it's the most important things? Because 100 attorneys have told us what should be on this page. And we built exactly what they asked for to the T.
All right, good. And all of this can be output as reports as well.
Absolutely, Bob. You even got links right up here directly to the reports.
Right, okay.
So if a curious mind wants to dig deep, baby, we've got it. It's all right here at your fingertips. All right, so now let me walk you through how the reconciliations work, because this really is the part you're going to love. If I click here on reconciliation history, now this is a new account I set up just for you, Bob. You're so special. I spent the last hour before this demo scrambling to put together a fresh account just for you.
I thought it just took 5 minutes.
That's right. That's right. Just to make sure it was perfect for my old startup alley friend, Bob. But you can see here, Bob, I can just toggle between my trust and my operating. And this just shows me for the life of the account, everything that's been reconciled. Now, what you're going to notice here that you don't see in traditional accounting software is that we have this ability to upload your bank statements. This is not super critical for your operating accounting, but for your trust accounting, there are lots of state bars, like Florida comes to mind, This is a requirement. They require in their trust handbook that however you store your reconciliations, you store your bank statements the same way. If it's paper, they're printed, they're in the same folder. If it's electric, they're in the same platform. We hear, we listen, we help. This is just an example of one of the dozens of things we have built into the software that you would never ever notice, because we not just listen to our customers, we also listen to our bar partners, and we take compliance very, very serious. Now, trust accounts have two types of reconciliations, one that's called detailed and one that's called three-way. A detailed reconciliation, I'm going to show it to you. This is what you would expect from a regular accounting system. I didn't run that one yet, Bob. Let me do a fresh one here. So let's do one together. This is so easy, it's going to blow your mind, Bob. Trust accounting is literally, a reconciliation is three things. What's my ending date? What's my bank balance? And then what hasn't cleared? Now, Bob, this should look familiar. We just saw this 15 minutes ago when we did the onboarding. I'm sounding like a broken record here. One workflow does it all. So if this workflow satisfies our hundreds of customers that we've talked to and the thousands of Trustbooks customers that we have, it's good enough here. It's good enough for onboarding. It fits everywhere. So what you're going to find, Bob, is now that you know that itty bitty workflow from trust onboarding, you're immediately qualified to do operating onboarding. You're immediately qualified to do trust account reconciliations and operating accounting reconciliations. One workflow does it all. So I would swing over here to my bank statement like we saw earlier, and I would grab my ending balance, and I would grab my date, and then I would just go right here into my product, and I would say I'm reconciling on this date. This is my balance. And then I would go through and I would pick the things that had cleared on my bank statement. And this is so easy. You just look at the bank statement, and literally, if it's listed on the bank statement, Bob, that means it's cleared the bank. The bank sends me a PDF that's got all my clear transactions on it. I'm just checking, check, 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 check. It's super simple. After you have checked these, the deposits and the withdrawals, we do the math up here for you. You cannot reconcile if it's wrong. We lock this baby down. So it only says ready to reconcile when it's mathematically perfect. I'm going to show you. Uh-oh, I'm off. Why am I off? Well, Bob, it's easy to tell why I'm off. I'm off 2,500. Let me go look down here. Oh, there's 2,500. Let me go check my bank statement. I did, in fact, check the wrong one, Bob. I was not paying attention. So what our customers tell us is that not only is the idea of how this works insanely, ridiculously simple, it's easy to self-correct as you go because of the way we show the data, the way we show the math. It's not scary. It's not big accounting. It's literally checking off a list. That's one of the things our attorneys tell us they appreciate the most, is that their regular team members, their paralegals, their admins, their office managers feels very, very comfortable jumping in using PantherAccounting Plus for all their trust and operating accounting because it's built to be simple and easy. You don't have to have a degree in accounting.
Mm-hmm.
These
So
are
let
kind
me
of like
just-
the very, you see, like very clear and simple safeguards that make sure you're doing the right thing in the right spots without, just being incredibly intimidating.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I know that that's one of the reasons that you hear that lawyers don't do when they should
Yeah.
be doing three-way
Absolutely.
reconciliation, is they're intimidated by the process. They don't understand how to do it.
That's right. Bob, you got enough as a busy attorney stacked against you with all the stuff on your plate to have to worry about using the wrong tool for the job.
Mhm.
We feel that if you have the right tool for the job, you'll just take 15 minutes or someone will and knock it out. You'll feel better for it. You'll rest easy. And more importantly, you don't have to worry about losing the ability to practice law because of an accounting issue. No one became an attorney because they like accounting, Bob. Our job is to help those people get through it as fast as they can. But I'm just going to hit save and finalize. And you can see it creates it right here. And then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to open up what's called the three-way reconciliation. Bob, if there's one report that I would just want you to print out and keep under your pillow, it is this one.
Under your pillow.
Get it ready, buddy. The trust reconciliation fairy is coming your way with a $2 bill. If you have this when I get there, this is how to be audit ready. If you should unfortunately get audited, most bars are going to ask you out of the gate for two things: this report, which your other accounting systems probably don't have, and your bank statement to show that they match. So I'm going to slow down here and walk us through this report because it's that important. A proper three-way reconciliation has three parts to it. The first part is your bank records. No, this came directly from my bank statement and that little itty bitty 2-minute wizard I just ran through. And it basically says, here's what your bank balance says on the PDF of your bank statement. We take out anything that haven't cleared, and that leaves us with what's called an adjusted bank balance. That's our true north. That means legit at the bank, this is what everything else should line up to. And then we go, because our software contains the accounting data, the firm data, the client data, everything. We grab it and do all the math for you. So right here, we add up all your clients and we tell you what their balances are together. Here we go grab your trust ledger and we show you what its balance is. You can see these things mathematically balanced to the penny. And if they don't, stop what you're doing. You've got yourself a situation. In Panther, though, you don't have to worry. We will not allow you to reconcile unless they match. You will never find yourself in a situation where you have done a reconciliation, you feel good, you put it under your pillow, and it's wrong. It's right or it's wrong. There is no gray when it comes to a three-way reconciliation. Now,
So you would never get to a summary that is
you would never
inaccurate.
get to it. You would have to stop and figure out what had happened. Most of our customers don't realize that we prevent them from doing it if it's wrong, because it's just not wrong. They put their data in Panther. It's so easy. It's so effortless. If you put the activity in as it happens, it's going to be right at the end of the month. Now, most accounting software falls short in two places, Bob. One is they don't layer on this part right here. They just do these bank records at the top. So every traditional accounting software does the top. Very few do the bottom. Of the LPMs that attempt to do this bottom, a lot of them fall short because they're missing this piece here. All your uncleared transactions always show you the client and the matter. This is important. You don't only need to know how much is uncleared, you need to have your finger on the pulse of who it belongs to. So these will stay on every reconciliation and roll forward month to month forever until they clear. They will never age out. They will never drop off. You'll either clear them or you'll void them. You'll have to take action to take them off of this report, because as far as the bars are concerned, if they're uncleared, that's someone's money that's out and float, and you have to keep your finger on it. And then the other place where traditional accounting reports fall short is they don't show you the client details. So not only do we at the top on the summary page show you that your clients add up perfectly, we also add them all up here so you can see. Now, because when I did my demo, I put that wrong number in to show you how this would work. You can see I've got a big fat negative here. That's exactly the stuff you want to see, Bob. You want to see, is anything wrong? Who hit a zero balance? Certain bars require you to send a report when they hit a zero balance. How do you know? It's right here. A lot of firms want to hit people for a refill of a retainer when they hit a zero. How do you know, Bob? It's right here. This one report helps you stay bar ready and it helps you keep your arms around what's happening for your trust account.
I know that rules vary from bar to some extent.
They do.
Are there any states for which this would not be compliant?
No, sir. We have worked with nearly every state bar where member benefits in most of them, and it is built to keep you in compliance. If anything, we do a little bit more than some state bars require. The only exception to this, Bob, would be North Carolina has a process that is independent of your through reconciliations, your operating reconciliations, called an attorney review. And they have a one-page document the attorney is required to take out and visibly inspect a handful of transactions and sign off and show that in their file. But that's nothing to do with their accounting. It's an extra oversight the bars want in North Carolina. That's a great question. Now, Bob, I'm going to transition and I'm going to show you operating accounting. It's going to go blazingly fast because one workflow does it all. We're not going to see something new. We're not going to learn something different. We're going to see the same thing I've already showed you about 4 times now. So I'm just going to switch here to operating accounting and I'm going to hit reconciliation. And this looks familiar, right, Bob? We've got this down. I'm going to put in my ending date for my bank statement. I'm going to put in my balance at the end. Now you can see, Bob, I've got no money in my operating. I'm a sad, sad law firm. I should just stay to my software world because I've got no money. So right here, there's really nothing for me to reconcile because I haven't put anything in. But if I hit save and finish later here, I can go come back to this and save myself in progress. Or if I actually had a month where I had a zero balance at the end of the month and I had no activity, that's cool. Right here, I can hit save and finalize and I've done my reconciliation. It's just that simple. It's one click. and then you're done. And then here's all my reports. This is the operating reconciliation detail. I'm showing this because it's a standard report that all accounting software works with. This is what your CPA would expect. It's what your bookkeeper would expect. Anyone who wants to see your financial records, this is the format they would want it in. And it's very simply just a list of everything that's cleared and everything that's uncleared. There's not any legal secret sauce to this one, other than we always show clients and matters across the board.
Okay.
All
okay.
right. Now let me show you the ones that will be more traditional here. P&L, balance sheet, cash flow statement. I won't run through all of these, Bob. I can see your eyes getting tired already, just as I said all these. But I'm going to show you two of them.
Hey, I'm a
This is
lawyer. All
your-
these numbers make me groggy.
Exactly. I say these reports, and you start thinking of all the things you need to do after this interview. I'm going to hit profit and loss statement here. This is just a super easy way to generate a P&L. So you can choose whatever period you want. You can run a custom P&L. You can choose to compare it to other periods. However you want to look at your data, it's here. And at the end of the day, a P&L is just simply money that came in, money that went out, and then the difference afterwards. Hopefully it's a net profit. But if it's not, the truth is in the data, Bob, and the data is always going to be accurate here. And then the other reports I would show you would be the balance sheet. I show this because, Bob, I feel like with my accounting experience, I have to. But when I talk to attorneys and I ask them, when's the last time you looked at the balance sheet? They go, I don't think I've ever seen it. I have no idea what's in it. Well, why would I use it? So why am I mentioning it to you, Bob? Because the question I do get is, hey, at the tax time, PantherAccounting Plus has everything I need, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's literally, this is what you need. This report, Bob, combined with this report, and that's what you're going to submit.
And if you need your CPA to look at your books, your reports, they have it right there. They know what to do with it, and we lay it out for them very clearly.
One thing that was important for us, Bob, is that PantherAccounting Plus is end user, easy, and simple, but our reporting is industry standard and world class. Right? We didn't want to dumb down our financial reports at all because they should be easy to read, easy to understand, but they all should be familiar. There's no need to reinvent a P&L. The whole world has a P&L already defined for us. So everything leading up to the report is unique and built custom for Panther. The reports itself are meant to follow the industry standards where industry standards exist. I got one last thing I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to I'm just going to sit back and take all the applause. I'm going to click on Custom Report Builder here. And Bob, we make it so easy to just find what you're looking for in the software. Customers tell us that this is one of the things they love the most. In traditional accounting software, if you're trying to find something, it's a hot mess express, man. You can't find a freaking thing. And if you can, you don't know it when you found it. Not in PantherAccounting Plus. Up here, you can filter by any account. You can also do multi-select and combine accounts. So you want to look in 1, 2, 3, effortlessly. You want to pick a start date and end date. You want to look just for a certain client, a certain matter, a certain pay, no problem. You got something really, really gnarly you're looking for, click on advanced. Good day, sir. Now you can look at the date it was reconciled. Has it ever been reconciled? Is it cleared, uncleared? Does it have a check number in it? Does it have a description in it? I can go on and on and on, but we basically sat down with our Paradigm accounting team, our customers, our project specialists, and said, what's all the stuff you always wanted to find in a report that you couldn't? And we distilled it down to this super simple interface, and we battle tested it to make sure it's exactly what you need. And Bob, this is exactly what you need. With that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen just for a second. I'm sure you have some questions, maybe some things for Colin or I, but I think Colin, at this point, we'll probably close up the demo and then just finish up.
And
Well,
another
here's
thing
your
that I
applause. That
wanted
was
to
very good.
bring
I
up,
appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Bob.
Another piece that we've added accelerators to make each part of the process easy. One of them is you can do a direct bank feed through Plaid or through your credit card account and import your entries, so you can reconcile them really easy. We have like a dashboard for you to be able to do that really easy, so you don't have to jump into your bank account or your like a bunch of different tabs, and you can just do it all within PracticePanther.
So if I'm a current PracticePanther subscriber and I want to add in this feature, this is added cost to me, added subscription cost?
Yeah, it will be in our new plan, Business Pro. So from business to Business Pro, it's an additional $25 per user per month. which gives you the full financial suite as well as trust and operating accounting. And
I'll also add it's world-class features at very valuable pricing compared to what all the independent softwares charge for just one seat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so that was my next question. So say, okay, right now I'm using QuickBooks and I, learn about this new accounting feature you have and I'm interested. Is this a full replacement for QuickBooks or do I still need to keep my QuickBooks account for any reason?
It is, Bob. It's a full replacement, man. We needed to make sure that you can come completely into Panther and be completely in Panther, and you can. Our Panther product as a whole has everything you need around invoicing, collections, reporting, clients, and matters. And the additional accounting stuff we've layered on top gives you an end-to-end solution just as good, if not more robust than QuickBooks, but in the way that it speaks to the normal person that's going to be using it and it's not niche down for bookkeepers. Also, it has all the built-in workflows and protections that you need for legal to help you stay in compliance. But you would not need, nor would you want to continue to use QuickBooks after you got a taste of Panther.
Yeah. Well, a lot of
you don't
people
need
would be
another
happy to hear
accounting
that.
solution. Financial stuff, like you can get rid of everything except for your bank.
Yeah. Yeah. And can I provide access to this to my CPA and bookkeeper? Is that
Yeah. Yeah. You just add
is that
them
just
access to them as a user, and we can give them
yeah.
granular control. So they just have access to what you want and nothing else.
Yeah. Okay.
All of our reports are exportable to CSV and PDF. So if it's just a matter of sharing those reports, you can just export them and then share it with them. It depends on how you and your bookkeeper want to work together.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I imagine a lot of law firms either have bookkeepers on staff or outside bookkeepers that are helping keep some sanity to their accounting records.
Yeah, we found a lot, Bob, that they often hold the trust accounting really close, which is very, very smart. And they
Hmm.
either do it themselves in smaller law firms or they have someone they have trained exactly how they want it. And that almost
Hmm.
always is internal. Customers, 30 to 40% of the time, will have an external person who will do with our operating accounting. But what I'll say, Bob, times are changing. As people are getting a taste of the Panther Accounting Plus goodness, they're not needing to do that anymore because what they find is that the work is already done. They're already putting the data in this system. So to take the time to export it out of this system, to send it to the bookkeeper, to put it into another system so they could do a 15-minute reconciliation, costs everyone time and money and energy and adds no net positive. So we've had a lot of customers just stop using their bookkeeper and just manage it all in-house because now they have the right tool for the job.
Yep. Yep. And is there, I mean, just what about the security of the system? I mean, obviously, I'm sure Practice Panther already has security protocols built in, but can you just talk about that? Because it's something a lot of lawyers are going to want to know about.
Yeah, I mean, we follow the same industry standards as online banking. So if you're comfortable on going online and looking at your bank balance, you'd be just as comfortable or more comfortable being inside of Panther. Maybe depending on the bank, we might be more secure. But Colin, you may have some extra feedback there.
Yeah, yeah. We are also PCI compliant. Remember, we have a native payment system as well,
Yeah.
which
Right. Right.
with that we have to certify to the highest levels of security. We have multi-factor authentication and like really good security guardrails from a user access standpoint to make sure different parts of the system aren't being accessed or used without the consent of whoever owns the system or the administrators. Um, we want like that's a big part of our all-in-one philosophy when building out new feature sets. We wanted to be native in PracticePanther as just another like limb or arm or leg. Protect the full base with the right security like controls and features that make sense to secure your law firm.
Bob, what you're
And
hearing without
yeah.
Colin saying is we want you worrying about your law firm, not worrying about your software, not worrying about your accounting. Worry about practicing. Don't worry about.
Right. I like it. And so you've been testing this with a number of your customers already, and now is it out in general availability as of now, or when's this coming out?
Yeah, so we've been testing this and having folks on it for over a year actually to get through like a full year cycle of like reporting and reconciliations, including the month and quarters. It's available Tuesday, April 7th, 2026.
Live from
Perfect.
Colin.
Live from
Perfect.
me, and we're excited for you to have your hands on it.
Yeah. Um, all right. Those are all the questions I had. Anything else that you wanted to say about this before we wrap it up?
No, Bob, I would just say after talking to thousands of customers and rolling this out with hundreds of firms, we nailed it. It's easy. It's simple. It's intuitive. It's accounting that doesn't feel big or scary. It saves everyone time, energy, and worry. If you're looking for an accounting solution, you should give it a try.
We
You
took
should be
this
in
really
sales, Todd.
seriously. We took this really seriously. It's like accounting is serious, but it doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah.
So we made it easy for you.
Yeah. And it really looks great. I mean, Colin and I were talking, ran into each other at ABA Tech Show last week about just how difficult it is to build accounting software of any kind, and to build accounting software for lawyers in particular. I don't know. I'm not an accountant, but I've talked to enough people who know something about the field to understand the challenges in that. So, including Chad and back in your
Bob, for the last
Trustbooks.
few years, I've had this Post-it note on my monitor, and it says WWBT. What would Bob think? And everything I do, I ask myself, would Bob sign off on this? All right,
I
we're
think you
going
should
in the right direction.
articulating all our life philosophy. What
All
would
right.
Bob think? What would Bob do?
All right. You've made my day. Okay. I got to get
He'd
one
run
of
the
those.
three-way
I gotta give
reconciliation
it to
and
give one to
Panther
my
Accounting
wife,
Plus.
maybe.
That's what he would do.
That's right.
How about a t-shirt? We can get t-shirts made. I like that.
I got you.
You, Bob.
All
I
right.
got you.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to tell me all about this and show it to us. And it looks great. And looking forward to getting the word out about it.
Great as always, man. Great to see you, Bob. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Bob. Appreciate it.